Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is a new week, and that means we've got some new updates inbound for Black Ops 6 and Warzone, although it is a bit of an interesting week with some of the things going on in-game. It would appear that we've got some new updates inbound. However, the exact specifics on several of them are still sort of up in the air. We also have a bunch of new things to look out for in regards to bug fixes, gameplay changes, other updates like that. There are several broken things going on in-game, some of which the devs have actually recently addressed that we've yet to cover. There's also some things that the devs haven't addressed, which is kind of concerning, I would say. So first up today, I did want to start on the Trello board. There's a few different things to look at here. Initially though, in our resolved issues tab, there is a pretty important one. They now have fully moved this over. They did this late last week with the issue where you could not edit your custom loadouts in a pregame lobby. So when you load into a match within Warzone and you are, doing the countdown timer and everything, you couldn't mess with any of your setups because if you went into your loadouts, it was crashing games. So they completely removed that feature. So if you didn't finish editing your loadout by the time you queued into a game, you were stuck with whatever you had. They do say now this is in the fully resolved tab, so you should be able to fully access this feature again, and it shouldn't have any impact on your game stability. So definitely good news there. Elsewhere on the Warzone Trello, we've got some interesting updates. So they haven't pushed live too many new cards here as of late. It's a lot of things that we've covered, going back to last week. There are still, though, some interesting fixes scheduled. Like, for instance, they mentioned this to us a while ago that they were going to be updating the price of loadout drops in ranked play Resurgence. However, this has obviously been going on for a little bit now. It's still 10K. There's still a fix scheduled for this to be updated, and the price of loadouts in Resurgence will go over $10,000 for your squad. So that update seems to be coming at some point here, but they haven't given us any exact specifics on that, which is kind of random. Like, the devs went out of their way to say, hey, heads up, we're going to announce this soon. They haven't so far, so we got to keep an eye out for that coming. A few other basic things on here as well. They're still looking into issues where crates aren't fully dropping weapons, despite the fact that some of that was mentioned in some recent patch notes. They also recently disabled the Jack Lance aftermarket parts because there are some issues going on with that in-game as well. That is in addition to several other restricted items that are still out of the game. This has been an ongoing list for some time. Like, if you're a Core 45 fan, I feel really bad for you because this pistol has been disabled in game for months, and I honestly don't know if they remember that it is disabled. Like, that's how long it's been out of the game here. So that stuff is still not accessible after all this time. But yeah, a couple of minor updates here in the Warzone Trello. We also have some things to check out on the global Black Ops 6 Trello as well. So this Trello honestly raises more questions than it gives answers, quite frankly, right now, because if you've been here on the channel for a little bit, you're actively tuning into the content, which, by the way, if you want to make sure each and every day you're in the know for all things going on in COD, this is the place to be. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications as we go through all the details today. If you enjoy the video, a like's always really appreciated. It really does help grow the channel. But if you're an active viewer here, especially on a lot of our update videos here in our update preview videos, this Trello has had these fixes scheduled for weeks at this point. We've seen major updates drop, we've seen minor updates drop, random patch notes drop, and so many of these issues that are listed as fixed scheduled still have not been fully resolved, which is just really bizarre. For instance, this monolithic suppressor issue, there's been multiple fixes for this that have been released earlier on in June with Season 4 Reloaded, and yet we're still here with this being an issue that affects some players but not others. It's really random. I'm not sure if there's a reason behind why some players got it fixed for them and then others are still waiting on an update here, but really bizarre that this is still an ongoing issue here. So we've got to look out for all these upcoming updates. We just have zero ETA as to when these fixes that are scheduled and have been scheduled for weeks now are actually going to fully be pushed live. Like, hopefully this isn't something that's reserved for Season 5 because that's still 3 weeks away, 3+ weeks away or whatever, right? So who really knows what's going on here? They definitely need to have some more communication updates with what exactly to expect with some of the Trello stuff. And then, just in case things weren't bizarre enough for you, in addition to the global Trello, which obviously includes Warzone, the Warzone specific Trello, which we just looked at there first, there's also this Activision support page with other known issues for Warzone. And for some reason, there's several things listed on this page that aren't mentioned over on the Trello. I'm not sure the communication problems there between the studios and who's handling this page versus the other one, but it seems really weird that the Trello is supposed to be like the one-stop shop for all the upcoming things and issues the devs are aware of. and yet this page includes several additional things. Like for instance, there is currently a connecting to host loop that is breaking the game. They say an issue placing some players into a connecting to host loop when attempting to enter a Warzone game mode or their loadouts is under investigation, so that one's being looked into, should be updated here in the near future. I can't access the armory in ranked play. There's an issue where there's the no items available message for the armory if you're in the ranked play menus there, even if you have stuff that you can earn, so they're looking into that as well. They're still investigating various crashing issues. They do say there are some workarounds by installing the recommended video drivers. If you're on Windows 11, make sure you have the June 10th update already live. But this is in addition to issues that are still going on with other crashing stuff and other stuttering and hitching stuff. You can actually see this tab here too. I'm getting lag and hitching in game. AMD 7000 series users are still having significant performance issues in game, and that's been ongoing since Verdansk dropped back in season 3, and there's been no communication updates there either, which is pretty concerning. They do mention that the monolithic suppressor, the other attachments that are bugs there, are still being investigated there. We still have certain operator skins that have been fully removed from the game because they're broken. Yokai, Cole, and Nocturne on the Riptide operator, they've been disabled because there are display issues going on with those, so kind of crazy. That's still an ongoing issue as well. Like, this has been busted for quite some time. And then a little bit of some older ones that we've mentioned here before, like the loadout glitch. This is still ongoing, where it'll reset. You'll go to grab a loadout in game and it resets it to an XM4 and a default pistol. They have a workaround listed for it that you can go through. You can either re-equip the melee weapon blueprint in your loadout, replace that blueprint with the base melee weapon, delete the loadout, and then rebuild the loadout. That could solve it for some players. Other players also have just found success by deleting that loadout and then recreating it, and sometimes that'll fix it. But this has been ongoing for months as well. So between the fixes that are scheduled, still not showing up in game despite being scheduled for weeks now, and going through several major updates and minor updates, and then a plethora of other bugs and glitches being investigated, there is a lot not working in Call of Duty right now, a lot not working in Warzone in specific, that definitely needs some attention. And that's in addition to some new issues that seem to have risen up over the weekend, where there's a message of the day bug now, where players are getting stuck on the message of the day and they can't move past that. Their game just has to restart over and over again. That's like an infinite loop. So there's a lot of problems. Hopefully we start to see some new details and some information on some fixes for these, like I mentioned earlier, as we see anything go out, patch notes, any responses to the things going on here that we covered, or if anything else new surfaces, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the loop, so stay tuned by hitting that sub button. Now, beyond just gameplay changes, bug fixes, things of that nature, we also are expecting some updates later this week as well. This is where things also get kind of interesting, because originally, you may recall back with Season 4 Reloaded, we got this absolutely ridiculous leak that American Dad is coming to Black Ops 6 in Warzone with the Stan Smith and Roger Tracer packs that are going to become available in the store here. According to data-mined files, these packs should be dropping on the 17th and the 20th, which would indicate we could be having a new event drop in just a few days time, potentially on the 17th, and that is the COD Tunes event. But hey, what do you know? Post-edit Zach here. As I was in the midst of editing this video, getting it ready to post, we actually saw a menu update in Game Go Live that does confirm COD Tunes is coming in 2 days here. So this will be kicking off on Thursday. Obviously, as mentioned, King of the Dead coming to a close. There is like the whole Masters of Grief event that I believe should be coming as well. No guarantee here, at least based off the menu, if that's just going to replace King of the Dead when that ends, but COD Tunes with some new content, new weapon, obviously, or new aftermarket part rather, with the TR2 aftermarket part there, the little ammo mod for that will be coming, alongside some new camo rewards as well, which is pretty interesting. So we'll have that starting on Thursday on our official update day for this week. So that's solid to see there. And then another surprise here, as I was in the middle of editing this, we just got this new tweet from Jeff Keighley saying Call of Duty Black Ops 7 worldwide reveal is confirmed to be happening at opening night live in Gamescom. It's going to kick off Gamescom in a massive way. Not too sure what that means, but Tuesday, August 19th, 2 p.m. Eastern time is when we're going to see our Black Ops 7 worldwide reveal. This could be multiplayer, zombies, Warzone campaign, one of those in specific, all of them. But we do know now for sure we've got a major Black Ops 7 reveal happening on Tuesday, August 19th. And then one last thing I did want to feature here, because I always try and keep you guys in the loop for bonus content, in-game things you can take advantage of that are limited time. Call of Duty did just post this over the weekend saying it's time to kickflip into combat, celebrate the launch of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. We're giving away a limited Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Call of Duty calling card. So if you go to Call of Duty's Twitter, you respond to this tweet with your Activision ID and then the tag COD X Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, you're going to end up getting a calling card that's basically just this art in game. So if you're a fan of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you want to have this limited calling card. Not sure how long this whole campaign that they're doing this is going for, but once season 5 rolls around on August 7th, this calling card will be added to your account. So if you're interested in that, that is currently ongoing. But a really bizarre sort of week that we're in here for Call of Duty, because there's a lot of just, well, we know that this should be coming, but we don't have any confirmations that it will be coming or any confirmations of when it will be coming, as we're all waiting and waiting and waiting for several pretty important updates and fixes to go out. But this is the best place to be to stay up to date with all things going on in COD. So if anything does happen, I'll be covering it right as it drops. So be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay in the know. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button on your way out as well. Much love to everyone who does take the time to do so. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you later. Peace out.